but that's the kind of leadership that I'm pleased to be a part of. With pleasure, I'd like to introduce Grand Counsel Keith Croft.
Thanks, Rich. Thanks, Rich. And I'll tell you, happy birthday. Congratulations on your 125th. It's a great honor for me to be here. It's funny, I was talking to Tim Michael a few weeks ago. We were talking about going down to Houston for our Foundation Board of Governors meeting, and he was telling me, he goes, hey, you know, I got to get back a little early. I'm going the 125th, you know, back at Ohio State. And I'm like, oh, can I go too? He goes, sure, let me check into that. So next thing you know, I get an email about this long from Alan Zink. And Alan, I know you're there. I just flew up from Houston, and it took me the entire trip to read that whole thing. And you know, and by the way, I'm an Ohio boy. I'm from Rocky River, Ohio. I grew up there and everything. And it was funny. So we were standing right over here, over by where the cartoons are, and Tim Michael goes, well, you're an Ohio guy. Well, why didn't you go to Ohio State? I go, well, it's simple. I didn't get in. I had to go to Purdue. But you know, as I was flying up and I was reading that email, which was kind of the history of the Alpha Gamma chapter, you know, over the last 40 or some 50 years. And it was real, I mean, it was amazing because it was very cyclical. There were a lot of ups and downs. And so it's not easy to be around for 125 years. I mean, maybe the only guys that did it were the MIT guys, but hell, they were studying the whole time. You know? So, you know, and as I'm reading that, and thinking about coming back to Ohio, it was a strange story. It just popped into my head. I mean, and it was when I was back here in Ohio, I don't know, must have been, well, probably was about 12 years ago with my two sons. They were young. One was 5, the other was 7, and we were going to Cedar Point. And I remember it was the first roller coaster ride that my little 5-year-old guy was going on. And my other guy was like 7 years old. And you know, we didn't take him on the dragster or anything like that, but we took him on the Blue Streak, which back in my day, that was the biggest roller coaster, you know. And he was scared out of his mind. And I remember we were waiting in line, and he's trying to, no, I don't want to go, Dad, I don't want to go. His older brother, Steve's saying, no, you gotta go, you gotta go. And so we're getting there, finally, like we're getting there, he keeps wanting to go out. It's like, no, come on, it'll be okay, Carter. And so we're in the roller coaster crash zone. There's me, there's my little guy, Carter, and my older guy, Steve's in the back. And you know how you go, you're kind of going up that first hill, and it's click, 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 click. And I could see that my little guy, he was like almost in tears. And I'm going, God, I am like the crappiest father in the world. I should do this to my little son. I'm going to like affect him for the rest of his life. And it didn't help out that his older brother in back was going, Carter, we're going to die. We're going to die. So we're going up that thing, and you know, right as you get to the top, and they have that little steeple thing, and then you go down, and you're around, and you're going up and down, and you kind of come sliding to that stop, and I'm like, oh, I'm going, God, I'm the worst father. Carter's got to be like hysterical by now. And I looked over at Carter, and I go, Carter, you okay? He goes, Dad, that was scary fun. Let's do it again. So as I'm thinking about the chapter here, I'm thinking about, you know, riding that Blue Streak at Cedar Point. Because, yeah, you're going to have ups and downs, but, I mean, it is fun. It is scary fun. And if you think about the definition of scary fun, it's courage. It's courage. And, you know, I just can't say enough for the rich tradition here. I mean, wow. How many significant SIGs? You said 20? 20 significant SIGs, 3 Order of Constantine. That's a rich tradition, and that's something to be very, very proud of here at your birthday party. And Chris, the counsel, when I came in, he congratulated me for, I just had a birthday. I just turned 50 a week ago. The midfield of life. I know I look a lot older than that, but what the heck. And you know, it wasn't just one of those mild little birthdays. My sweetheart invited 275 of my closest friends out of my California beach house. I mean, it was an absolute riot. And Rich, I think, knows my mother. My mother roasted me. She's like a stand-up comedian. Oh, and she loves to grab the microphone a lot. It was like Dick Kester, past Grand Counsel, was like interviewing her and saying, "So, what was it like to give birth to Keith?" And she goes, "Oh, he just slid right out. And he's been sliding through life ever since. My son is a freeloader." That's how the thing got kicked off. So, you know, birthday party is supposed to be fun. And so anyway, you know, and I just sent out one of my In the Lead email messages yesterday where I actually talked about the midfield of life and kind of the reflections from that. And I think that's true for this birthday party here, the 125th. And I thought about, when I looked out at all these wonderful family and friends, thought about so many of them were Sigma Chi's, but everyone had been affected by Sigma Chi. My kids, my mom, my sister, even the non-Sigma Chi friends. I mean, everybody. And if I think about the three things that I got out of Sigma Chi, the first one, for sure, is those friendships, that brotherhood. You know, see all you guys coming back, see the young guys, see the brothers-to-be. These are best friends for the rest of your life. You know, and this is a testament to that. There's no question about that. The second thing is strong set of values. Values that are embodied in our ritual, our ideals. And, you know, especially for some of the older folks around here, I mean, everyone to a man will tell you that that's helped shape them to be a better man and has affected them in an extremely positive way in their business careers and in their personal lives as well. I mean, it's that set of values. That's a super common bond. And then the last one is in terms of leadership, exactly what Rich was talking about. Our vision is to be the preeminent collegiate leadership development organization, line, focus, and living our core values. And when we talk about our mission, it's to develop values-based leaders committed to the betterment of character, campus, and community. That's what we're all about. And that's, you know, that's something we're celebrating. That's something clearly we're striving for. So it's an honor to be here. I want to thank you for your hospitality. I hear Ohio State's going to win the game. That should be great. Yeah. So I wish you all the best on the, you know, on a continued scary, fun, great roller coaster ride here at Alpha Gamma. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Real quick, two things before we adjourn to the basement for some ritual. First, Grant Bockerman has put together a silent auction of items back here, Ohio State sports memorabilia. So the bids on those close at 11:30. So whenever we get done down here at 11:30, time's up, and highest bidder gets the spoil. So and secondly, if we're ready, let's head downstairs and get rolling. All right. Good job.